Um, this is kind of funny. You might need to fact check me on this. Maybe it's wrong, but Terra um, became uh, Baal, um, like terrible, and ter Terra is terrace, and terrain. Um, there's terraforming uh, rice for the purpose of grain, which is this is all a form of state mind control. But thing is, it's like it's always been a thing. Um, she has horns, which is like okay, well, like horns is the horn bull is a male, but there's a Mother Earth goddess that has horns. Um, in Baal, uh, he there were human sacrifice and idol worship and human sacrifice. Then um, terrible. Um, Baal is Tubal Cain. Tu- Tubal Cain is 007. 007. And the real 007 was this, I think something Carey, something. Not Jim Carrey was his name. I can't remember their names. They got into some what Enochian stuff. They were trying to auto transcribe, uh, but there's also that Tavistock Institute. This is bullshit. Is what makes the lawns of Camelot green. Like the the bullshit is it's shell, and the CIA, right, is the good shell company, right? It's Camelot. You know, like the the Kennedys were trying to they were trying to reach the state of declaring that Camelot had arrived in the West before the Brits. Uh, Joseph Kennedy Sr. was basically trying to groom his son for the presidency when he was still a baby. You know, he had already deemed that he was going to be president. Kennedy, Joseph Kennedy, and Joseph Kennedy died, right? So then it became John Kennedy. He put it on John F. Kennedy, but he wanted Joseph Kennedy to be president. I get the names messed up, but anyways, um, why did the gangsters kill him? The insurance is it insurance? No, that's well, yeah, that too. Because the Emerald Tablets of Thoth is the next 11 degrees after the Knights of Malta, the 22 degrees. So there's the intention in the architecture was they're telling them that when we building this way, right? That's how you keep them. Uh, well, on you know, what's it called? Well, I don't know. God damn it. Anyways, this is a way of communicating, right? There's like old underground network for international spies and shit. They're just um, underground. But they were building the Federal State Highway, which is also known as the Golden Gate, the Yellow Brick Road, right? It's the Golden Highway. The Federal State Highway is the Golden Highway, and they could have been mad that we're enacting Camelot in the way that um, we're pointing directly to the national fiction in the Wizard of Oz, because the Golden Highway ends at the bay in Emeryville. The end of the Federal State Highway is in Emeryville, and it didn't go through the Golden Gate Bridge to get to the Emerald City. They went. They chose to go another way. I guess you could say they chose to go around back. But the Emerald City is Mu, and Mu is one of a few other. I don't really know how many. The numbers keep growing of different Atlantean city states or chunks that flew the off of Atlantis when uh, they were doing experiments with, like, I guess not experiments, like it was called Cymatica, and they were bouncing frequencies off of, like, buildings, like the structures, you know. And it's like the Pythagorean mechanism, electricity mechanism in Washington D.C. So that it also leaves reason to suggest that maybe Benjamin Franklin didn't actually have to fly a key from a kite separated from a string and a piece of silk. He didn't have to. This metaphor. Alright. So what? I always forget where I started. Is a trend. I did forget where I started. 8 minutes though. Whatever. We'll just have to